Hi everyone, I'm Joey Page, and I am one of the cohorts of Gotaproblemmate, the podcast, which you are currently watching or listening to. I host this with Bilal Zafar. He's over there wearing a right smart jacket.
Thank you very much. My wife got me this.
Yeah?
From Uniqlo.
Yeah, I can tell.
I kind of want to dress like a Japanese man, I think.
Yeah, me too.
It's cool.
I'm not doing it today, but I do. When I'm in my block colours, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's pretty cool, some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Wes Anderson Japanese man.
How have you been?
I'm very good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you up to? Lose anything else?
I've not lost anything. I'm thinking about, the jumper that I lost.
The jumper?
The jumper. I'm thinking about rebuying it. Is that mad? But I miss it a lot. But it's going to be 40 quid to rebuy it.
It's sad when you have a bit of clothing.
Should I just move on?
You have a comfortable bit of clothing in it.
Not even comfortable, stylish. That really helped with my Japanese man aesthetic.
Not even comfortable. I'd
it's
say move on.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
you mean not just right?
But also, it just made me look great.
Made
me look like I'm scouting for a film location in the 80s.
Oh, that's yeah. Speaking of looking great, I'll tell you the problem I have this week.
Go on.
It's that when people do, sometimes people very kindly do like fan art type things.
Who are these losers?
And sometimes you look great, and then sometimes they make you look kind of bad, and it makes you self-conscious. And that is something I'm having an issue with, which we'll talk to our guest about.
We will talk to our guest about it, and I don't want to waste too much time with me giving my opinion on it right this second, because we do need to get him in, because we've only got places to be. So I'll hold fire on that. But needless to say, I think you've got some confidence issues that you need to work on. It's nothing to do with people's drawings. I think you've got some...
I think it's the drawings that's the problem.
Okay.
What's your issue?
You're gonna absolutely hate this. I was having a conversation last night with my girlfriend, and I literally couldn't... You know when you have those conversations where you're like, would you rather this or would you rather that?
Mm.
You know, silly, incidental.
Bit of fun.
But this one has been it's really stuck in my craw, as people say. She said, would you rather have a really brilliant career as a comedian and everything you ever wanted out of your career, and have an awful little, wider than it is long, chode penis?
Wider than it is long.
Or have a knowingly miserable career, but you've got a perfectly fine penis.
So not even amazing, just perfectly fine.
No, just like fit for purpose. A good penis.
Normal.
Yeah, the one I've got, I'm happy with that.
So you've just described our lives now.
Why, you're having the successful career with a chode penis?
No, I'm not. I'm struggling in my career, but everything else is fine.
Okay, but yeah. But I literally couldn't work out.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could live with one that I can't use, you know?
I don't know. I think maybe you're putting too much emphasis of your life onto that. That's not everything.
It's something.
Yeah, but a big successful career, imagine you could be like Jimmy Carr.
With a chode penis. Nobody wants to be with Jimmy Carr and his chode penis.
Let's...
Should we get our guest in?
Yeah. Today's guest is a football man. And what is football? It's everything that we live by. I'm a Gunners supporter. He's a Coys boy. And we'll get into some of that, but not too much because we don't want to date the podcast.
Date the podcast?
You know what I mean?
I'm always going to be a Tottenham fan now, aren't I?
No, I know, but we don't have the specific season because you might be relegated by the time this is out. It's a bit of bantering there.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's good.
Today's guest is, I found him through doing football and analysis videos on YouTube that are brilliant. And he's also on a good podcast.
This one?
And very interesting guy. Everyone, it's JJ Ball.
JJ Ball, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Welcome.
Thanks.
How are you doing today?
It's really good to be here on the show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I walked through Soho to get here. Do people know where you filmed this?
It's all right.
Does it matter?
I don't think there's going to be like a thronging crowd outside if they find out the exact location of the...
I think it's all right. I think it's quite easy to find out where it's filmed.
I don't know. What if it really kicks off and then like in 2 years we're still doing it here and you've got all folk waiting for you outside.
Well, just high security, right?
Yeah.
What did you do on your walk through Soho?
I walked, I checked my phone a bit, while walking. I made sure to know where I was going. I also made sure sometimes I would have 2 hands on it, just in case any sneaky people want to steal it from me.
That happened to a friend of mine in Soho Square. And his phone taken, one of the flip ones.
Yeah, I thought I'd do it all the time.
You ever been mugged?
Yeah.
He's been mugged 3 times.
You love asking
4
this question on
times.
the podcast. No, 3.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
It's going to be 4
I mean,
soon.
this episode isn't going out for a couple of weeks. It could be 4 by the time it actually goes out.
Yeah.
That's interesting information, though, because when people have listened to this, it will have gone out. So, like, you're playing with time.
I know. It's so exciting, isn't it? Bilal hates it when I mention anything like that.
Don't like it.
This is happening in the future and the past and now.
Do you think time is a loop?
Well, I actually really like this chat. I think, yes. It's probably not linear. It's all everything, right?
Yeah, so it's everything everywhere all at once.
It's to the speed of light, and that's one of the things people say that could be a simulation that we live in, is that one of the things would be if the render speed of the computer of the simulation we're in is the speed of light. That's why we can't travel faster than it, because it couldn't possibly render anything faster than that.
But what if it crashed?
Well, that's the Big Bang.
That could happen,
That's the Big Bang.
Yeah.
It's like we're doing the Joe Rogan podcast now, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know.
What about flat Earth?
I don't think the Earth is flat, no. The Big Bang could be that when we create our own AI, and then that creates its own AI, you see? So like when AI becomes like AGI, and it's sentient, then that would be the Big Bang of that particular thing, and then it might create its own universe or whatever. So that would be, they don't know how it started. It started with an enter button.
Do you think you can time travel?
If you can travel faster than the speed of light,
right,
that's what you could see, right?
Is that, okay.
And then apparently, if you, only way you could time travel would be, well, I am a scientist, remember, is if you had like a starting point.
Actually?
Yes. And if you had a starting point, and then that would be where you could go from. So maybe the starting point is in the future, and then you could go back between them. It could also be what UFOs are. We've gone into a real thing.
I don't mind.
Yeah. I don't mind this at all.
I thought it was all going to be about football, but
I am also just doing something to tie this into the actual podcast.
No, that's good.
I'm asking. It's a feature we do sometimes. I'm asking Chat OpenAI what problems you might have, and we're going to see what it says.
Oh, nice. That's good. I like ChatGPT. It's good. Is that what you're using ChatGPT or a different one? Yeah.
He just said it weird.
Well, there's auto chat or something, isn't it? It's
hypothetically,
right
what?
That would date the podcast better and everything, because in 2 weeks it won't be auto AI or ChatGPT. It'll be
some other guy.
It'll be master.
Yeah,
because we will be under its control.
Yeah, but the fact that we're using it now might give us some leeway.
It might like us.
Yeah.
There's a theory that if you are polite to AI, it does remember some of them.
So while he's looking that up, you obviously talk about football a lot and analyze all sorts of things, and you make predictions. How angry are football fans at you for some of these things? I imagine it kicks off a bit.
Yeah, it can do. I think my colleague John McKenzie gets a real rough time of it. John is brilliant, though. Like, he did this thing at Aston Villa where he says the underlying numbers and what he sees as a football expert, that's what he is. Mm-hmm. He suspects that it might level out over time, and they're probably not the second best team in the Premier League. Probably not. And Aston Villa fans don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
They want to hear that their team is the best. In fact, everyone wants to hear that their thing is the best.
Yeah.
But I don't understand it because I'm quite neutral. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to, but can I swear on this?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. But I agree with you. Like, I'm a pretty big Tottenham fan. I've got a season ticket, but I just think, they're useless, and then I forget about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. But I think sometimes people just need something to hold on to, whatever that is for them.
It's kind of the apathy of a Spurs fan, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I've got a mate who I go with, and if Tottenham lose, he won't come out afterwards. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, see, like, it can affect. Like, I support Aberdeen, and I think it can affect your mood for the weekend when you lose if you're really invested. But then over time, you start to realise that it's all pointless. Everything is futile, and so there's not much point.
Well, so I went. I drove to the Champions League final, and we were 1-0 down before I even sat in my seat. Spent 3 days driving there, but I realised as we was walking up to the ground, I had this exact thought: if we win, we are the champions of the Champions League until May. Until September. It's already May, so it's all pointless because then it all starts again. Do you know what I mean?
It's basically for the party, like the party you get afterwards when you celebrate that thing.
Yeah.
Nah, but you can boast about that for forever.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Who cares?
But the thing with posting about it, you didn't achieve it.
No.
Like, it was some other people that you are paying money to watch.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
money.
everything that's quite odd about it.
But it feels like you're doing it.
Oh, 100%. When Aberdeen won that League Cup final in like 2013-14, it might have been that year, it was one of the best days ever.
Yeah.
It was great.
Who do you hate more, Celtic or Rangers?
It's really difficult to answer these questions if you are from Scotland.
I know.
There's an obvious one.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But there is one. Yeah.
I've asked what your problems might
It's
be.
an obvious one. Yeah.
It says that you have writer's block.
Uh-huh.
Don't know if any of this resonates with you.
Oh, absolutely.
I
know.
You have a severe case of writer's block. Despite having multiple book deadlines approaching, you find yourself unable to generate new ideas or creatively express yourself. You're a popular motivational speaker who suddenly questions his own purpose and passion in life. You're having technology troubles. As a tech-savvy entrepreneur, you face a series of technological mishaps and setbacks, and you're having relationship woes. A charismatic relationship advisor finds himself experience a rough patch in his own love life. Any of that ring true?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear all of that.
Yeah.
You've really got some problems.
You do lots of different things, as well as the football stuff. I've seen you do little songs that go online about like Casemiro.
Yeah. Can I just quickly say, it's not great to infantilize a guest by saying you do little songs. It makes it sound so shit.
I think he's right, though. So I do those little songs that are very stupid.
No, but they're silly. They're meant to be quite silly. That's what Yeah. It's not like a serious album.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you can't really get writer's block from doing those ones because all you have to do is the most mental thing you can think of at the exact time. You basically harness a little bit of energy all of a sudden, and then you make a song about, I don't know, James McFadden becoming a robot or something. I mean, that's a bad example.
It sounds a lot like my my whole Twitch channel when I had it.
Yeah. You'd be great on Twitch, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Probably said that to you before. Yeah. Something to think about.
I'll go now.
Yeah.
I had Jordan Pickford host the One show because he was England's number one. That was my idea.
I see.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you might be okay at that.
I think you'd be better than the people that actually host it because they are dry as fuck, basically.
You might save the occasional episode.
That's good. What we need more of.
What?
Yeah.
Like jokes.
Jokes. Well, you're a professional comedian.
Yeah, well, come on.
Maybe you should catch up.
Catch up. Fingertip save. Goal kick.
Don't cross the line.
Back of the net.
Back of the net.
So, should we run through today's problems that we've got on the show? Do you want to start with yours? I know you already hate mine, so I don't want to.
Did we mention them yet? No, we haven't. Sorry, what was it? Oh, yeah, that's it. I have, right, people sometimes, because I got a little bit popular doing stuff on Twitch and little online things, right? Sometimes people will draw you. They'll do little images of me. Do people do that of you? Fan art.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't feel like they make me look very good. And that's an issue. What I mean is, I'm on a big diet now, right? I get sensitive get a little bit flabby there.
How old are you?
31.
Yeah, see.
Get a little bit flabby there, right?
It's just age like this.
No, but I've been eating cakes, come on. But they draw me like...
Jowly.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, is this how people see me? Chubby face.
But jowls are far.
Are you asking me that question genuinely?
No, I mean, that's a problem I have.
That's your problem.
No, it's a weird thing because it's like people like you, so they're being nice.
But they're shit at drawing.
Well, they're not because it looks good. I just look like a kind of chubby old woman in one of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Can you send it to me?
Yes.
I'd love to see that.
I'll show you that.
I'd like to see it as well.
Yeah.
But that person's not even a fan. They just did like loads of artwork of loads of comedians and did me, and I was like, it looks a bit. What do you do about it?
I don't know. It could be that they're rather than trying to draw you in a realist way, they've taken their own artistic expression, and what they've done is accidentally taken things from their subconscious that they're thinking about you. So maybe they're thinking of a chubby, happy man, which I don't think looks like that at all. Obviously, a very funny man, and they've associated that with a certain look. How dare they?
In the olden days,
like Peter Kay or.
In the olden days,
exactly like Peter Kay. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, in the olden days, it was a symbol of success, right? Like,
Henry
the
VIII.
rich were, yeah, exactly, Henry VIII, that kind of thing. So maybe people think that you're doing well, so therefore think, you know, you eat good.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm trying to help you. Trying to feel good
Have
about
you
yourself.
ever had people draw you?
I mean, somebody drew me for the thumbnail for this podcast and the artwork for this podcast, and has done a wonderful job. So it made me look like a sort of like cool boy band George Michael, which
it's my wife.
I don't look like.
My wife did it.
So I'm very happy with the drawing that's been done of me, because it doesn't look anything like me in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, it looks great.
Did I tell you this? I can't remember. Sometimes I don't remember what I've told you in real life and what I've told you on the podcast.
It's fine.
When I was out recently and somebody said, has anyone ever told you that you look a bit like a dishevelled version of this comedian? You won't have heard of him. His name's Joey Page.
What?
That happened to me.
When?
About a month ago.
But that's like, everything about that is so horrible.
He was like, so you just remind me of somebody. I was like, who? He's like, well, it's not because like
it's not someone you've heard of.
It's
don't
not someone
worry.
you've heard of, and the dishevelled version of him. Because I was like, that is me. He was like, no, it's not. And I had to show him my own Instagram.
Bloody hell, man.
I like things like that. It's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's sad.
My problem is a purely hypothetical one that got put to me. And you know when people say, would you rather this or would you rather that?
Yeah.
Right? And normally I'm quite good with those sorts of things. And I've not been able to solve this one. Right? I got asked by my girlfriend, who told me not to say that she was the one who came up with this. Would I rather have a really successful comedy career, but also have a little sort of like chode penis, like nubbin,
God's sakes, man.
or have a really awful career, but a perfectly fine normal penis?
I'm so sorry about this.
Okay, that's an interesting question.
But I literally don't know how.
on, and you're talking about this.
I said, would this be a good episode to do my silly problem? And you were like, yeah.
I said silly problem. I didn't know it'd be about you.
It's not mine. It's a hypothetical.
It's
what have you
yours.
chosen? Like, what's your
Well, that's what I'm
dilemma?
saying. I can't.
Yeah.
I keep on going backwards and forwards on it because
The success is better.
what, with a tiny little nubbin that you can't do
think
anything
so.
with?
Depends on whether your girlfriend would then leave you and how much.
Well,
How
exactly.
much you would care about that.
I'd suggest.
Depends
probably.
how important is that? I don't really know.
How much do you need her?
Well, I don't think you can. I don't think you can use something like that.
But imagine if you're really successful. That's great, man.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't ever have sex.
Just buy a new one.
You could buy a
With
new
your
one.
successful money.
Oh. See, it's good to ask somebody who's actually clever.
Think
'Cause
of-
I've literally spent nearly 24 hours thinking about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
On and off.
it was straightforward though,
No.
that you'd just be the successful guy.
I was
and
thinking
then
I would take my miserable career and.
if you're super successful, you can figure stuff out. Like you got money.
The other thing is that super successful does not necessarily mean you're happy.
No.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. But she said that I would knowingly know how shit my career was. So I would be very unhappy with my career.
Until you're retirement age, then it doesn't matter. Maybe.
Well, if you haven't had a successful career and you haven't put any money away for a pension, then it's only going to get worse because the state aren't going to
No
look
point
after
in
you.
living.
Well,
It's tough out there.
But I guess by the time you're retired, you're not going to be using all the bits and pieces downstairs.
You might.
Yeah.
I think people do.
Mm.
They must do.
I wanted to ask what you, because you seem to do a lot of different things. What do you have like a dream job? Do you have a thing that you aspire to?
Well, my
really?
dream job when I was younger was to write for The Simpsons. That's what I wanted to do.
You wouldn't do that now though.
Well, I'd like to go in and try and write a really good one.
Mm.
But, I mean, you know, they've got some good writers. Some of the original writers are still there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
there's still,
mad.
some of them are still there. Like very few. Most of them went after about season 9 and they changed and the showrunner changed and stuff. But it's not the same now. But it's something like that. But then also you don't get paid very much as a writer anymore. There's all the strikes in America, especially when they're worried about all that sort of stuff. That would be a real dream job. I mean, I'd love my job. It's ridiculous how lucky I am getting to do what I do.
Yeah.
It's
What
insane.
would you call it? What's your job title?
Executive producer
Oh,
/ presenter.
that's great, man.
Yeah, that is great. That's what I am of this podcast.
That's a
What?
good title.
Am I?
No.
Executive producer?
No, you just come here.
Oh.
You're just a
I
guy
need to
that
speak to
turns
my
up.
agent.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. No, I would say it's, yeah. The one of the things with having like any dream job, I think anyone will find this, is that anything you do in the world, like however successful a career you have, whatever, you end up, eventually it becomes like a job. There's a lot of people in my industry who just kind of moan about things that you should never moan about. Like, I've done this shit jobs.
Right.
You know, working in retail all the time and someone's screaming at you and something like that. Like, you know what that's like. You got to do the hard work, and then you can appreciate how lucky you are to be able to just turn up and then, I don't know.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Have you ever had like a really awful job like that?
I used to work for a giant retail outlet who are a computer company called Apple.
Okay.
In their shops, and it really gets you down after a while. I was trying to think if the NDA still applies when you leave. Like,
do you sign an NDA?
There's all these things that make you sign, like when you don't have to talk about them for like months after and stuff like that.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I'm probably like, because I've gone over the top with it and think I must not talk about Apple forever.
Yeah.
But I used to work for them, and
I didn't know companies
There's
did
just
that.
a lot of like frustrated middle-aged people going, "It's broken. I don't know what to do. I can't get away with it."
It's not even that. Like, that's quite easy, because then generally they come in and their phone is not working, and then they shout at you because you've broken their phone. You've broken it, and then as they're shouting at you to the phone,
Because you're Apple.
Yeah, and then you do a hard reset while they're shouting at you, and then by the time they're still shouting, the phone's already working in, but you let them go for a little bit longer. So then and you can turn the phone around and go, "There you go, I fixed it," and then they go like mid-sentence, they go like all that anger that doesn't know where to go. They got to switch gears immediately. It's quite funny. It's like going into reverse. So
oh my god! Do you charge them to hard reset it?
No, it was just a good bit I used to do. That was quite fun. And then and then that was one thing. But then after time, like, they changed the guy who's head of retail. I can't remember what his name was. And the other guy came in who was a real jerk. And then what he did was make money by cutting costs, by getting rid of all the staff, because that's a big outlay, right? And then you get rid of them. Suddenly, like, all the things that made it workable, that you have time to, you can spend 4 hours with someone talking about something they're not going to buy, and the company doesn't mind that, because you get a good experience, and that actually helps. It's a nice way to do it, really. And he still got the cult in me. And then over time, over Christmas, like, you're just getting done. Time, iPad, and you feel like a little robot. And then I got really stressed, yeah. That was awful. It's not that.
Have you ever had any terrible jobs, BZ?
Care worker. Which this one came to see.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't come because I was trying to hang out with Jeff Goldblum.
I got a text off him saying, "Can't come, I might be meeting Jeff Goldblum." That might have been the same night you came.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We had a guest that was supposed to come on the podcast because they were working with Jeff Goldblum. They couldn't. And then they said, "But do you want to come to Jeff Goldblum's gig?" And I was like, well, maybe there's a chance I can get Jeff Goldblum to come on the podcast. But I didn't get around to meeting him. And the gig I had to go on, which was pretty...
Where was he
not aimed at me. He was doing Rough Trade East. You've been with his jazz band.
I can't believe you thought we'd get Jeff Goldblum on this podcast.
Listen.
Man. Imagine him in here.
Well, I think we could have got him over Zoom.
Yeah.
I think we break the Zoom rule for Jeff Goldblum.
Do you have a Zoom rule?
No, well, we like to get people in the studio.
It's nicer doing it like this.
I don't like Zoom chats. Yeah, it's done.
It's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's done. Depressing time.
Just reminds you of all that time, yeah.
Do you think it's mad how, like, they'd have, like, I don't know, actors or whatever would go on, like, this morning, and they'd have the worst webcam set up and terrible lighting, and it's just horrible. And it's like, you could have ordered.
It's the sound. It's the sound that
sound
do my
is
head
horrible.
In, yeah.
They could easily have ordered a USB mic at least.
A ring light.
And they're millionaires.
But thanks to the guys at Laughing Around, we don't have those problems.
Yeah. This is great, isn't it?
It's good.
Thanks for coming.
So it's a nice little studio. I like this.
It's lovely, isn't
Look
it?
at the lights and everything, and you've got flowers.
It's quite nice. They've been improving it gradually, like every week.
Yeah. It's not real.
Oh no, sorry.
I guess it makes sense.
What were you gonna do if it was real?
I want to know if it's real,
off.
but we're not allowed to have real ones in our office, and I want real ones.
Why is this?
I don't know.
Why can we not?
Do the water pouring through the floor and I don't know.
It would catch fire.
Well, the water might not, but the floor,
the
below it might. Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about how you came to make these football videos and the analysis stuff, like
on Tifo.
Yeah.
Where do I start? What do you want me to start from? What do you want me to do?
How did you get into that stuff?
And your point of your point of interest to like go into that side of it as opposed to just casually.
How do young people do it?
Oh yeah,
What
okay.
you do?
Well, I do get asked this quite a lot.
Oh really?
Like loads of DMs, yeah, loads all the
How
time.
do you do it?
I can. Oh, how do I think about how we do it? So, I'm trying to work out where to go back without being a boring story, but I'll try and do the interesting bits. Like all the things on camera, like so the long story short, at the end of it is because I got asked to work for Tifo by Joe Devine, who's the guy that runs Tifo. It's his genius idea.
Yeah.
He's a genius, that boy. Love that guy. And before then, like all my life I've been a musician. Like I play guitar and piano, make songs, and then I went to uni and did film, but I've always been making stuff with the camera. I was always drawing cartoons and making stuff like that, doing animations. Always having a camera out and making little stuff with my friends or just on my own. And then I went to uni, did film. I was trying to make a little. I always want to make a cartoon. Like I wanted to write for The Simpsons, right? I used to make a little puppet cartoon thing. I used to write stuff. My friend had been fanning about doing that. And then at uni, I realized one day that everyone who was writing for The Simpsons was my age. So I need to sort of wise up. So I started a football blog called Fit by That by with my friend Jack, who's really funny. And we started that together. I did really well instantly. Then I started making some silly little YouTube videos. These are the silly songs and that. And I did one of Michael Ballack being a haddock fisherman. I think he had a farm. And then the second one was about Owen Hargreaves released all these videos of him training, but it was very funny because he had like a ball, he's swimming against a wall, and he was just like it looked like a montage video that needed to be spoofed, and no one had done it yet. I couldn't believe it. You know, sometimes you get this idea that's funny, and you're like, I've got to do it now.
Yep.
Or before someone else does it.
Yeah. So I just nailed it out, and I didn't even know how to make the the right screen resolution for the timeline thing. You know, I can't remember what I'm trying to say. This is part of my job. I didn't know what I'm saying. You know, it should be in 16:9, right? But I've done it within like 4:3, but inside a 16:9 window.
So it's a weird shape.
Didn't know how to expand it to make it full screen. So anyway, that was on Channel 4 News, and it went mad.
What?
I went to the cinema, came out, and I had like hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. I had like loads and loads of followers. I had people sending me emails and stuff. It was on the front page of The Sun and all this sort of stuff.
What were you watching in the cinema?
I don't remember.
Oh, see, I thought that would have been a big thing for you. And I thought that film would always make you think like Men in Black 2, that was the day. No,
it was like the movie was like watching my phone, like never ending with the pings. It was so exciting.
Wow.
Like, you know that real problem people have with watching, they want Instagram likes, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
God. The dopamine, you must have been.
Or try and chase that again. That's like, it's the first time it's ever happened and it's going crazy. So wow. Like, what do I do with this? Then I got all these nice opportunities, and I got a couple of shows commissioned on YouTube channels like Copa 90, but I was always doing comedy stuff basically. I've never done stand up. I always liked funny stuff. So I think I'm better just doing it on camera. And then maybe I'm terrible. Who knows? And then I was doing all that sort of bits. Ended up moving down to London, thanks to Apple. And
they got a big store down.
Yeah, they've got a huge one. I worked in Regent Street. Jeez, oh God. And then like. I think that happened that was really fortunate was because I'd been doing this blog for so long. I've been doing all these videos, and all these videos were getting 100,000 views. Not all of them. Some are 3,000. Some are stupid. Like I do one about Ryan Nelson being a wolf, and I do one about Ed Woodward and the transfer market, and it goes nuts. So I was really lucky with that, right? And they picked up, and it's just because the momentum kept going, and people knew who I was. I think I was getting little commissions now and then. I was turning down a lot of commissions because they were shit scripts for stuff I just didn't want to do. I didn't want to do stuff I didn't like. It wasn't fun. And then eventually I got an email through just randomly from these lads at BT Sport who were looking to recruit a comedy writer to write for their new sports nightly show. So it's like doing late night TV as a comedy writer on football. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
So I went,
dream.
I went for the interview, and then the role wasn't full time. And because I was working at Apple and had no money, like I was on no money working in London, I was like, I can't take that because I don't have the time. Like Apple wouldn't let me work around it. Convinced them to give me a staff job as a runner. Oh, that's not much money. And then I did that for like a year. And then it just out of the back of that, I was doing all these other videos and stuff in my spare time. And then I just applied for something at Telegraph, and they liked my videos. And I got there, and I was 7-8 years as a real journalist at Telegraph, doing some videos on the side. Just started spotting I could do it. And then and there's another guy called Tom Gibbs, who's an editor at Telegraph. He's an amazing writer. He's really funny as well. He works at Telegraph, and he suggested doing these videos with a tactics board at the Telegraph. So before even like Tifo had done it, I was doing it years and years ago with this, but I was doing it with an actual like Subbuteo board, and I was using like Action Men figures and stuff to do the Gareth Bale against all the little people, just making it a bit daft. Right? I don't like things that are too serious.
Yeah, of course.
As you can probably tell. But
yeah.
And that's how I got here.
Wow.
That's probably the best answer we've ever had on the podcast.
Was that too long?
Proper
No,
guest.
that's
Proper
right.
guest
Proper
today.
That's very kind of you to say.
Proper
So.
guest.
Right.
We've had
Proper
some
answer.
awful. We've had some awful people.
We've had some
got a
absolute
proper
dross on
guest.
it.
Yeah.
It's been bad.
Would you say that every week?
Who's your talent?
Every
booker?
guest. Me.
Yeah. At the moment, I've not really pulled my weight. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, no one agrees to do it when he asks. Yeah, that's what's been happening. Also, women, they don't want to do it.
We've got to stop saying that though. I think.
No, they do. They've just been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're busier than us.
Wow.
A lot there quickly.
Wow.
I might have mumbled a lot of that as well.
No, it's brilliant.
Can you tell us about your problem that you've brought in for us to solve?
Yeah, I was thinking I've got two right now. I think of the first one is
One on your left and one on your right.
Well, yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I had the actual ones is that I'm pretty sure I've left my balcony door wide open in my flat. I've just realised that walking here. That could be an issue.
Now, obviously, balcony suggests you're not on the ground floor, right?
No.
No. So it's going to be difficult for somebody to get in even. So the thing you got to worry about, of course, is pigeons.
Oh, I didn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
How high?
And they won't let me in the house.
How high? How high is it? How
3.
High? That's too much, though, isn't it?
I think if they can
climb
get
up?
up there, they deserve my stuff.
Yeah. No one's
It's happened
getting
to
up
me.
there.
So I grew up in a flat.
What?
On
what floor?
First floor, I think. Yeah, and that got broken into because someone came through the balcony. But that climb, it's still hard.
Yeah.
But I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make a habit.
Would you be able to do that climb?
I don't know how they did it.
Mm.
I think so.
Was it an inside job? Was your dad after the insurance?
Was it my
money?
dad?
Yeah. After the insurance money.
It could have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That's
you're
what my old
okay.
man would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the main thing you got to worry about, is winged animals.
Yeah.
Especially
if they form a sort of gang and then don't let me in the house, you know? Like they say, this is our house now.
Yeah.
Do you remember A Bug's Life?
I do remember it.
I had a toy which was Flick, the main character, but it was like a motion sensor thing that defends your room. So if you walk near it, it goes, stop, turn back and stuff. So you want to get one of those, pop it in the balcony.
Maybe we should do that.
You'll be safe.
If I had done that, I'd be all right. Once
Yeah.
you scale the 3-story building at your own risk,
And then you come
to steal
across
not very
Flick.
much stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
If it's small little...
I bet you've got
Do you
a
live
good
alone?
laptop.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you can't even send anyone around.
No.
No one's got a spare key.
No, one of my friends does.
Okay.
Maybe you should do traps like Home Alone.
I do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
then you're fine.
I've got some set just now.
Yeah.
So the worry is that I walk in and someone has got in, they're now dead, and I have to deal with it like a accidental
They've
murder.
been hit with a
case.
bowling ball in the face.
Or you forget the
Yeah.
traps that you've set, and you set one off
And,
yourself.
I mean, that is a real problem. But I have an app on my phone. It's called Home Alone, and I use it regularly to set all my traps. You can, much like just setting the color of the bulbs in your house, you can deactivate.
It's an Amazon
Yeah.
thing, isn't
You can
it?
make sure that it's not a flamethrower behind the door.
Yeah.
And that's handy. I didn't know you could get.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Have you seen Home Alone?
Yes, that's one of the films I have seen.
You've seen about 3 films, that's why.
Can I shock you?
Yeah.
I've seen Home Alone 1 and 2 more
So
than
then-
once.
Oh, nice.
So then that's it. And
Yeah.
then one other film. Big Football Factory.
Home Alone 3.
Big Green Street.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So because you live on your own, right? Have you ever locked yourself out and not been able to get hold of your spare key? Because this happened to me fairly recently, and I managed to break into my own flat, and it was almost my greatest crowning achievement.
That's pretty good. How high up do you live?
I live on the 5th floor.
Holy.
And
Oh, wait, you weren't outside the building? Oh, no.
yeah, because it's one of those where the balcony is like a gangway, like out the front of the building, so it's not covered. It's like railings out the front. You go along
yeah.
a kind of gangway thing.
Oh, I think I know. Like the Hackney sort of
Yeah.
houses. Yeah.
And basically, I was locked because if I'd gone out the front door, I would have been fucked. Or I could have at least messaged a neighbour to get in that main door, but I couldn't still get into my flat. And I found a long piece of wood. And then I got my arm in the letterbox. And I was like, if I can just flick the handle, because it wasn't double locked, because I'd locked myself out by accident, then I know I'd be able to get in. But I couldn't get my hand all the way through, so I had to use the piece of wood to like smash off the letterbox. So I was just on the 5th floor for a while, smashing my own letterbox till it all came off, and I managed to like get my arm in enough, just far enough that I could then, with the bit of wood, flick the handle.
Did no one come and look at you doing this?
Down, no one gives a shit. Around my way.
Wow.
So,
Mate.
but after that, I celebrated like I'd won fucking lottery or something.
Every week he comes out with like a harrowing story from his life, and it really upsets me. Some of the stuff you go
Why? Because
through.
what? Your life's you're so in control of everything. There'd be nothing for the podcast if I wasn't here.
Was there not like someone outside at the bottom that said, "Oh, I saw someone trying to break into your flat the other day. It looked like you, but like a dishevelled."
Yeah, looks like a comedian.
Looks like a comedian you've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, you.
I forgot the
have
exact
heard of
bit to the callback properly, but
it's all right. It's
I didn't even think to do it, so it's good.
yeah.
He's got chops.
He does. Have you ever thought of doing stand up?
yeah.
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 I don't think I'd be very good at it. I'd forget what I'm doing and laugh at the punchline.
I think that'd be
Works
fine.
for some
You
people.
think so?
Yeah.
Don't know. I thought you were very good at yours. You got
Thank
control
you
of the
very
crowd.
much.
I saw Bilal do his show. What's it
I've
called?
heard it's
Care.
very good.
Yeah, it's really good. I really liked it a
Oh,
lot.
thank you.
And I'm hard to please with comedy shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Good.
I heard it was very good.
That's available. By the time this is out, it's available as on Go Faster Stripe for a $5.
What the fuck?
Or £15 if you want a tea towel. Special design. Yeah.
What kind of tea? Just any tea towel?
No, it's got a little drawing of me
You
on it.
got to deal with Dunelm. Just get a pack of 5 tea towels.
No, one tea towel. Don't tell people they get 5 tea towels.
Anyway, can
alright?
I just say, what the fuck is wrong with you, by the way?
What's this?
That
one
was
now?
nearly a slick link when you're promoting your own shit. When you're trying to do this podcast, you're like, it's you can like and you do know how to do it. You just don't like doing it properly. When it suits you,
I
do
do the important stuff properly.
it. Mm.
It's probably all my professionalism exuding.
Yeah. He's that's what it is. He's trying to impress you.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that
yeah,
why
thank
you've
you
worn
for
a jacket
coming.
like the kind of jackets I wear?
No, my wife got me this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because she wants me to look like you.
Yeah. It's working.
It's quite loose.
But like a dishevelled.
Yeah.
Dishevelled.
Do you have a guest problem?
Did you have 2 problems?
I can
Did
give
you
you
want
another one if you want, yeah.
Yeah, you can do your second one because let's face it, you're getting robbed right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
yes, sure. I need to have some ideas to sell. That's how it works. You can sell ideas to people. There's the idea buyer. Anyway, so there's I'm lucky enough to be able to buy some of a flat in London, and yes, that's very fortunate of me. So I'm very pleased with that. However, it's a new build, and they've got you have to pay a service charge, obviously, to live in these places, and that's meant to cover you for all things that go wrong.
Yeah.
Now, tell me this: what would your position be when the bin store? It's all key fobs, right? The bin store has been. I've been away on holiday for a bit, so I don't have to deal with it. But for 14 days now, no one can get into the bins, so people have just been leaving bin bags outside.
Oh, that's horrible.
Then they stopped that because the foxes were having a whale of a time.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so then they've kept them on their balcony, which is not nice,
No.
you know. So then, everyone's been sending emails of various levels of aggression. I've just finished reading How to Make Friends and Influence People, and I was thinking I could send them a nice one based on what Dale Carnegie says. But I think it's sort of fixed-ish now. But they keep saying it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed, but it isn't.
And is it a problem with the
That's
technology
really
of
bad.
the fob on the bin door?
I don't think that's my problem specifically, because I don't think I need to get into that. But the problem is, should you complain and try and ask for some money from your service charge back? Because if you're paying for a service that isn't being performed, that doesn't seem fair to me.
You won't get it back, though.
no.
will you?
My advice on that is, I've got a friend who's a lawyer, and he always says that it's good to write them a nice letter, but with some threats in it, such as, I will demand some of my service charge back. You know how much these new builds have been getting bad press because of things like cladding. I'm sure you would hate for your building to end up in the press because I'm going to go and complain to them if you don't fix this, blah, blah, blah. So you just put in where you can escalate these threats to
It's
and why
not
it would be
classy,
bad
though,
for
is
them.
that?
I was thinking more like you go along the lines of, obviously your building group has a great reputation, and I'm sure you yourself have been inundated with responses from angry residents, which cannot be particularly enjoyable for you, and I'm sorry you've had to go through that. As I'm sure you understand or appreciate, living in a flat full of garbage bags, full of food and whatever the hell else is there is not ideal and unsanitary, and it's the kind of thing that would attract unwanted attention from certain avenues where it to be shared, which obviously no one wants to happen. And then I threaten them and say, if you don't change it now, I'm going to find out where you live. And I'm going to
dump all the rubbish on your doorstep.
I'm going to set fire to your house and everyone you know. I'm going to set fire to everyone you know if you don't fix my fucking bin.
Didn't need to be such a long email then, did it? No. It could have just been that.
It goes off, and there's not even a final end. It's just like, it just goes.
I like to imagine it's just all like, nicely.
And it just gets smaller and smaller.
Just like
the punctuation gets worse as it goes, and the spelling and everything. Like,
and at the bottom is a picture of a lizard. Yeah, and that's it.
Can I just say, we do not condone threatening to set fire to anybody's houses. I think legally we have to, do we?
I'm not saying it.
You're not saying it.
You could say it.
You said that what a lawyer told you was to threaten people.
Yeah, but in a rational way. There's no fire setting. So I've got a listener's problem for you.
Oh, yeah.
And this has been sent in by Yeepchar. I've no idea why they're called that.
Yeepchar.
But Yeepchar has recently moved to Minnesota. Or as I believe they say over there, Minnesota.
It's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, it is with a T for sure.
Is that how they talk in Fargo? You seen Fargo?
Yeah, but
are they based in Minnesota?
And I can't remember. No, it's not. Where the hell is it? I can't remember. It's a very north part. What the hell is it called? I can't think what it's called now.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Anyway, she's got in touch and she said, I've moved to Minnesota recently and the standard of men for dating is absolutely appalling. How would you suggest I go about lowering my standards so that I can find love?
Oh, I like this.
Wow. So they've already decided they just want to lower their standards.
Well, I guess they've got no option.
Well, I think the most natural thing to do is just try and see past outer beauty and
look at inner beauty.
Well, we don't know what low standards. We don't know what it means. They could all be stunning, but stink.
Right? They could be.
Yeah,
that could be it. I still think it's going to be I bet it's more the personality that you can lean on. It's a really tough one. How does she lower her standards?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I am very vain.
Okay.
So I definitely, I'm going for beauty every time.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd really struggle to work out.
But what if the personality is very bad?
Well, it's not going to last long, but it will last for some amount of time.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Boris Johnson was in the body of Margot Robbie.
He doesn't mind that. He's pro Boris. He doesn't like.
No wonder he's got no trouble lowering the standards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. No, I mean, I have met people that I've fancied that have been awful, and I've, as a point of principle, not got with them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can think of at least 2 examples. But that's it in 38 years. So I don't know. But I would maybe suggest, if we're going along the lines that you've picked up on, perhaps you've got to join a club of like something that you're interested in, like a hobby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fencing.
Find out people with common interests.
Rock climbing.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. What sort of things do you think attracts people that she'd like?
I mean, I have no idea.
I don't know much about her.
Yeah. What's an interesting thing to do, Something like rock climbing, at least she'll be trying to keep in shape if she cares about that.
Yeah.
Build a terrarium, they're nice.
They are nice.
Oh. Yeah. You ever built one?
No.
You can buy them.
There's a shop on...
yes.
There's a shop on... Is it Hackney? Right? Not
yeah,
Hackney
I
Road,
know.
Bethnal Green Road?
Yes, I've been there.
That sells
great.
terrariums.
I'm going to get one for my mum.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How much do they cost, though?
No, not the big one. You can get little ones that are not as pricey, but the big ones can be really
Why don't
expensive.
you get a make your own one kit? It'll be much cheaper. And then you can make it and then give it to her.
Then
and
I
it'll be
have
much
to
cheaper.
make it.
But it won't take you long to make it.
Depends how good you are at it.
So she needs to go to a terrarium making class? Is that what we...
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the only advice that we can give.
Do they do that in Minnesota, do you think?
I would say that love always can be found in very unusual places, Bilal.
Joey, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I like that.
I know a cool date
But
idea.
my question is, what's the science behind that?
Oh.
It's too advanced to discuss in this limited time that we have.
I'll tell you
That's a
something
great
you
way
can
to
do.
get out of that.
Thanks.
If either of you are going on dates, it's not related to anything really. But you can do life drawing, but it's like wild animals.
What, naked animals? That's sick.
Like the, like the Cadbury's bunny.
No, it's like they have like a wolf.
With like...
And they
its
bring like a
tits
lion
out.
in. Stop getting aroused by it.
Yeah.
I'm getting
How
aroused.
is the wolf hot?
I mean, the wolf sounds hot.
Yeah.
I think this episode's been
How
absolutely
do they
brilliant,
keep the wolf
man.
from like? How does it lie back?
No, it mauls some of the people.
Just
It's part of it. It's part of the experience.
I like that bit less.
Have you got to
Than
draw
seeing the
whilst running and hiding?
Yeah, you do.
Wait, who's naked?
You have to be.
You're naked.
Yeah.
And the animal's not.
The animal's obviously fully clothed. Don't be disgusting. It's got a little suit on, the wolf. Listen, it's not normally like this, all right?
It's like it's every fucking week.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to say.
No, I don't mind that. I like this. It's good.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I feel like we actually gave some genuinely good advice there.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
people hear that my stomach keeps rumbling.
That happened last week.
I know. I don't know what they did. It's about this time of day.
Two things happened last week and this week. Last time he downed a Pepsi Max, and this time he downed a pint of beer.
Oh.
Now, do you think that's the cause?
Yeah, quite possibly. No more.
Did you hear that? That was so loud.
I don't know. It's another problem for another episode. We're going to have to talk about my digestion next week.
You're falling apart, man.
I am. That's why I was going to get to 38. How old are you?
37 and a half.
Are you?
Yeah.
My God, look at how much better he looks than I do. Fuck me. Oh, God.
I think you look nice.
I don't. I look like a shit version of me. Have we got time for, how are we doing for time? Have we got time for a quick
we
Colleen
have
Nolan
8
knows
minutes
best?
till you have to...
Let's do a Colleen
right.
Do you want to
Nolan
leave
knows
at
best.
6:30?
I should. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
should, yeah, that's
No,
all right.
we're fine for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We're going to do a Colleen Nolan knows best.
Colleen
Right.
Nolan, you know Colleen Nolan.
From
She's from a
Loose Women.
TV show. Yes. That's right.
She's got her own Agony Aunt page on the Daily Mirror website.
Oh, does she?
And we're going to give you a problem that she's been given and see how you match up against her advice.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
My parents hate that I am dating an older woman. This isn't me. I'm reading the thing.
Yeah.
My parents fucking hell. My parents hate that I'm dating an older woman with a child whilst I'm at university.
The woman has a child. He's not
No, this is
dating a child.
Dear Colleen, I'm 19 in my first year at university and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm loving the course I'm on. I've made a good bunch of friends. I've also met an older woman who I've been dating for a few months, and this relationship is where the problems lie. Basically, my parents have gone off their nut. Because they see my girlfriend as a distraction. Scrolling down past the adverts. They don't like she's 5 years older than me and has a 2-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. They think it's messy and I'm taking on too much as I'm only 19 and have my whole future ahead of me, etc., etc. The truth is, my girlfriend is very responsible. She and her daughter live with her parents. This sounds shit. Her ex takes the baby every other weekend, and my girlfriend is doing a good job in a fashion store in town. That's what your missus
Okay.
says.
Yeah.
No, you
She
sure?
doesn't have a baby though.
You sure?
She doesn't live with her
You sure?
parents.
Sure.
I don't think it's her.
Okay. However, my parents don't want to hear any of this, and obviously have made all kinds of assumptions about her. They're saying we're the ones who fund your education and lifestyle, which feels like they are warning me that they could cut me off if I don't do what they want.
Mm-hmm. Did it say how old the girlfriend is?
Like 5 years older, so if they're 19, 24.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, they're both very young. They both live at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's at uni.
Yeah. So, I mean, where do they live? Do you know what city they're in? Does it say?
Let's say Ipswich.
I know Ipswich very well, so I can safely assume that their lives are glamorous.
Yeah.
And it's hot there.
Oh,
God. I mean, who's to stand in the way of their love apart
parents.
from him? Well, the parents. But then he might. 19, you're young as a lad, right? So every chance he's getting caught up in something, he just is having a really good time and doesn't really want to give that up. He doesn't really know how the world works yet, and so he's getting caught into something and getting all emotions he doesn't really understand yet because they're brand new to him, and he might think it'll never happen again. So I need to latch onto this and lock it down. But with time, when he's 28, 29, 30, he'll be able to look back.
These kind of opportunities are 10 a penny.
You reckon?
No, I don't know.
Well, in Ipswich, maybe. But,
it's like, do you really want a stepson when you're 19 and at uni? It's a bit.
I thought it was going to be the older one was like he was going out with what used to be his old teacher or something.
Yeah,
like
I thought it was going to be that.
I thought that'd be that.
I thought it was going to be juicier.
That happens quite a lot, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think she just has children. There's nothing wrong with that. Like,
what
she
does
has kids.
Colleen think?
Yeah.
Colleen says, sounds like your parents are panicking a bit and overreacting. However, trying to control you is only going to make you resent them and stop you confiding in them. So they have to help. You have to help them to see they can trust you.
That's really
I don't
good advice,
know
that.
if your relationship is at this stage, but maybe she should meet the parents to alleviate some of their fears.
That's good advice.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
But as a parent myself, I understand their concerns. You are so young and at a point where you should be embracing all the amazing opportunities open to you, such as travel, meeting people, work experience, and so on.
Work experience.
Not running around being covered in milky, sick, and pseudo cream. It doesn't say that. I've had that myself.
Yeah, she wouldn't say that, Colleen.
No.
Well, she's done a good answer this time.
She did.
She doesn't always. Comments?
Comments. There's been 4 comments.
The comment sections can be quite good.
Yes, they certainly can. Also terrible.
Michael BB, who I believe left a comment last week. Just stay the course with your education and your parents will come round and things will be fine. Boring. I didn't even need to read that.
That's not even true, though.
It's your future. You're an adult. You do what you want and what makes you happy, says Sugar45. One of the comments has been deleted.
That must have been awful to get deleted from this.
I'm pretty sure that was your lawyer saying what you do is write them a letter and threaten them.
Yeah.
This Gardener 47 says this could be our story, except my husband was 17 and I was 5 years older, and the child I had was 2 years earlier and had died at birth.
Jesus, you should have
read
it first.
I know.
Did that get any likes?
They got 3 likes. We didn't listen. We married 6 months later. He finished his course. We had 3 kids, and we celebrated our 52nd wedding anniversary this month. When you know, you know.
They just wanted to brag that they've been married for a long time. That wasn't relevant to this 19-year-old at all.
If you're a regular listener to this podcast, then you know that this is a good podcast. So please make sure you like, rate, and subscribe. And why not tell some of your friends if you've got any.
It's on YouTube as well, by the way. A lot of effort goes into the video side. It's not just audio.
Is there anything you would like to plug as a sort of reward for spending an hour with us 2 idiots?
No, you should watch Bilal's comedy show.
Yes,
and the thing. You should do that. It's really good. That's all. I have nothing to plug.
I'll get a tea.
I'll get a tea.
I don't know your stuff. Yeah.
No, it's all right. I'll get a tea towel.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
What should I plug of yours?
I've got a second-hand tea towel for sale that I've just got off Bilal's website.
Oh, that's good. But then you've touched it, so then it's worth more, or much less.
Should we get some? Should we get some branded tea towels for the show? Are they selling all your tea towels?
They haven't been. They're not on sale just yet.
Right. Okay.
We'll see.
All
we
right.
can do that, but then they have to take a cut. We're left with pennies.
I'll be selling tea towels outside the studio back door.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks
It's
for
been an
having me.
absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
we
it's
wish
so
you
nice
all
to
the
meet you.
best.
Thanks for taking the time to come in and see us.
No, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It's been lovely. We've all learned and we've helped
We've
in
helped.
our own way.
Yeah.
And my stomach's rumbling, so it's time for dinner, probably.
Thank you, everybody, and until next time. Got a problem,
mate.
mate.
Don't forget to use the hashtag.
We thought I'd try something new, but